So brothers and sisters, I want to say to you that when we set up the Who Killed Kennedy Committee in London in 1964, it was not out of any illusions or particular affiliation for the Kennedy brothers. Indeed, I should point out to you that at the time of the Berlin crisis in 1961, McNamara, on behalf of the Kennedy brothers, had said that the United States would emerge victorious in a nuclear conflagration. Yes, 160 million Americans would die, 90% of Europe's population, but the U.S. would remain standing. No? And yet, with the execution of Kennedy, we understood that within the class there was this internecine conflict about how to unfold their imperial reach. Let me say to you that in a short time after it was established, much like our own work today, people were coming forward. 19 exhibits of the DA's file in Dallas were liberated and sent to us, including Secret Service Report 767, which had in it the Central Intelligence Agency operations number of Lee Harvey Oswald, along with his FBI informant number. When Jim Garrison, the DA in New Orleans, the only public official ever to take on the question of the Kennedy execution and to finger the Central Intelligence Agency for it, established that the deputy director of the CIA, fired by Kennedy, Charles Cabell, had a brother named Earl Cabell who was the mayor of Dallas, and their daddy was the mayor and sheriff of Dallas, and their granddaddy, the sheriff of Dallas before them. When he established that the offices out of which Lee Harvey Oswald operated were run by E. Howard Hunt of the Central Intelligence Agency, and by Guy Bannister, who was Office of Naval Intelligence, all of that data was made available. Indeed, there were many investigations, brothers and sisters. We had investigations up the wazoo. There was the Church Committee. I remember Fletcher Prouty, Colonel Fletcher Prouty, whose desk had been the coordination of assassination for the White House and Central Intelligence, who had been assigned to the Antarctic prior to the Kennedy execution. Fletcher hadn't bought in for the removal of the head of state. He came forward before the Church Committee to give evidence. And he said, you know, I appeared there, and they're administering this investigative committee were my former assistants in implementing that assassination program. They did a buck and wing and a soft shoe to get out of my line of sight. We had investigations, brothers and sisters. You know what they would do when we come before them? Where'd you find out that? Who told you this? Where can this document be obtained? What do you think happened to the witnesses? When Jim Garrison indicted David Ferry, he was found dead. Eladio Levayo came up with a severe case of hatchet in the head. I go into all this simply because I want to make clear here, we are addressing a criminal conspiracy on the part of our rulers that admits to no impediment, and we cannot look to them or their institutions for redress, brothers and sisters. We will be pissing up a rope if we try, I assure you. There have been many struggles, and there have been many crimes. It's a generational thing. It is not the evil which is new, nor is it the crisis that has changed. Each generation confronts the fact that power is concentrated and it is illicit, that those who have this power run a system in terminal decay, that they're incapable of meeting the most elementary needs of human beings, that over 1.5 billion people live on less than $1 a day, that these people with 1% controlling 95% of the national wealth also command 70% of the natural resources on the planet, brothers and sisters.
95% of today's time.
They are addicted to war. Trillions of dollars, $10 trillion in the space of 40 years. That's more than the combined value of everything produced in this society, brothers and sisters. Taken together, we will not succeed in reversing this by picking and choosing amongst our oppressors. It's not a question of the evil list. movement of the many, that mobilizes our own population, that prepares a political program of challenge. So we will, what will we do? We will take this ruling class and put it in the dustpan of history where it has so long belonged. Thank you very much.